Hi, it's Nikki here from Happy Hormones for Life. Today I am talking about something that we don't openly discuss enough, and that is constipation. Um, we don't discuss it much, but it is incredibly common. It's thought around 1 in 7 adults in the UK suffer from it. And unfortunately, it's more common in women and it's more common in older women as we get through midlife. So that means if you're someone like me, it can be an uncomfortable and frustrating thing to deal with, but common doesn't mean it's normal and we have to put up with it. You can have occasional bouts without any problem. For me, particularly when I travel, that's what generally happens. Um, and that's nothing to worry about. But chronic constipation is different. It's not only affects your day-to-day life, but it can increase the risk of more serious gastrointestinal complications. So tackling it is essential if you want to maintain your health and well-being as you get older. So what is constipation? Well, it's what's normal to one person is not normal to someone else. So your definition of normal comes into this, but everyone's different, but you really want to be looking at how often you're going to the toilet. So pooing every day. If you're not pooing every day, if your stools are hard, they're dry, or they're kind of rabbit-like, or you're having to push too hard, you've got varying degrees of constipation. So it may be painful to go to the toilet as well, and you may have bloating or cramping. So we need to eliminate toxins and waste as part of our everyday function, ideally twice a day to stay healthy. So if your digestive system isn't functioning, if you're backed up, you can be holding on to these toxins and waste, and that can result in not only uncomfortable symptoms, but also you risk them being reabsorbed into your body. So what is causing the blockage? Constipation can be caused by various factors. You can have hormonal changes going on during your cycle, during pregnancy or menopause, lifestyle and dietary habits as well. If you're suffering low thyroid hormone or nutrient deficiencies, stress, and certain medications can also contribute to a kind of sluggish bowel. So there's all sorts that can be going on. The good news is that it can be fixed through addressing some of these underlying factors and trying some natural solutions, which there are a few of, thankfully. So let's go through those. What are the natural solutions for constipation relief? First thing to do is make sure you're eating enough fibre. I can't stress how important fibre is. It adds bulk to your stool and it helps it move through the digestive tract more easily. Fibre comes from plant foods, so make sure you're including lots of diverse fruit, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, beans, nuts, seeds, all that kind of stuff. And also particularly you might want to add in ground flax and chia seeds because they really pack a fibre punch. 1 to 2 tablespoons of mixed seeds a day are really going to help bulk up that fibre intake. Number 2 is hydration. Drinking enough water is absolutely crucial for maintaining those regular bowel movements. Dehydration can lead to harder stools and slower transit times through the bowel. So really, really important to make sure you're drinking at least 2 litres of water or other hydrating liquids a day if you can, and more if you're exercising or going to the sauna or sweating. Number 3 is avoiding food sensitivities, common ones like gluten or dairy. Now, if you're sensitive to these things, it can cause a backup of waste. So try eliminating either or both just for 3 weeks to see if it has an effect on your symptoms. And then after that, reintroduce either one at a time and then notice any reactions. It's a really good way of working out whether you're sensitive. Number 4 is to eat lots of healthy fats. So fats that are found in things like avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil, they all help to lubricate the intestines and promote a smoother passage. One of the fats I really like if you're really backed up and you're stuck is MCT oil. Now that comes from coconuts or coconut oil. But you can get it in bottles on its own. And I like to put a little bit in my morning coffee. You've got the coffee here and the MCT oil, and that definitely will help you move. Or you can do a teaspoon or tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil taken in the morning on an empty stomach, and that can have the same effect as well. Number 5 is probiotics. Now, these are beneficial bacteria that support your overall gut health, and they can regulate your bowel movements as well and promote a sort of balanced gut microbiome. So probiotic rich foods like natural yogurt, kefir, kombucha, sauerkraut, kimchi, all these lovely types of fermented foods are really, really good for that microbiome. And then coffee, I mentioned. Now, caffeine has a natural laxative effect Sometimes it's instant, it is in my case, because it increases intestinal contractions, and it helps to move the stool along. A decaf can have some effect, but it's not quite as effective as the caffeine. Herbal teas, certain teas such as peppermint, ginger, senna, aloe vera, dandelion, those sorts of herbs can have natural laxative properties and can help soothe the digestive system. Exercise is really important. That just stimulates the bowel and the blood circulation and the nutrients, and that can prevent some backup as well. Now, certain foods have some real sort of natural laxative effects, and these include things like kiwi fruits and prunes. We all know about prune juice. So if you haven't tried those before, a couple of kiwi fruits in the morning or some prune juice can really help. They contain soluble and insoluble fibers, and they have these special enzymes that help to promote bowel regularity. Supplements can help, particularly magnesium citrate. Now, we all need magnesium anyway, so if you are a little bit prone to constipation, then magnesium citrate is the form you want to take. Not only you'll get the benefits from the magnesium, but the citrate version of it can actually help with that bowel movement. And you can go up to quite high doses. I mean, I'd go up, just increase slowly until you get some effect. That's usually the way to do it. Vitamin C as well. If you go over 1,000, 2,000 milligrams, and you can go up to 3,000 or 4,000 milligrams until you get the desired result. And obviously, if you go too far, you'll know about it because your stools will be pretty loose. Psyllium husk is also a fiber that can be very effective. It absorbs water in the intestines, and it forms like a gel-like substance that makes it easier to go, and you can get that as a tub of powder, and you just mix it with water or in your smoothies or whatever. I will just mention your thyroid hormones because it's very, very important. A lot of us are going around with undiagnosed low thyroid hormones or sluggish thyroid, and that will definitely affect the bowel sometimes. So make sure, especially if you're female, to get your thyroid properly tested, because that's often at the cause of a backed up bowel, because it just makes everything slow. And lastly, I've got a little tip for you to try what is called actually a Squatty Potty. Now, this is something I invested in years ago. I found it in America, and it's made a huge difference. We're basically not designed to sit when we poo. As cavemen, we dug a hole in the ground and we squatted. So this kind of replicates that shape of the body. So you just put your feet on a stool under the toilet, and it creates the right angle to kind of go perfectly every time. So that can really help with movement, constipation, and also a fuller evacuation, if you know what I mean. Constipation, so I hope that helps. It is a common issue for a lot of women, but it doesn't have to be a source of discomfort. And it's also really important to remember that everyone's digestive system is different and unique. So you may have to experiment with some of these tips to work out which ones work for you. And remember, please do consult with a doctor or healthcare provider if it becomes chronic or severe, just to rule out any other underlying medical conditions, if nothing else. I hope that was helpful. Again, if you ever need help with your hormones or health, we're here for you. Do get in touch, and we can send you in more information on how we work and how we can help. Take care. Have a great week.